This is the G Podcast with your host, Tommy B.
Hey, what's up, y'all? Welcome to episode 237 of This is the G Podcast. Yes. What's up, y'all?
Maybe.
Back in the building, man, for another week. Each week we do news, politics, pop culture, and the piping IT from the one and only Tonya B, who just happens to be in the house this week. What's up, Tonya B?
Good to be
back, my people.
Jumping on when she's not on the road, when she's not in locations that we cannot announce. Yeah, she's giving us the tea. So thank you for jumping on. Lots happening this week, so I asked you to jump on, Tonya B. I appreciate you.
Yeah, a lot has happened in the last 24 hours, 36, 44, 48, whatever, yes.
Yep. And let's say what's up to the one and only country commentator. Yes, Vi's in the building.
How you doing?
I'm doing great. How about you, Tonya B?
Yeah, I'm good. Good to hear your voice.
Hey,
yeah, me and Vi always have our little spirited conversation about the boys who do 106 miles per hour in Athens. So I just gotta say, there we go. But I'm gonna leave it at that. Talib Shabazz, what's up, bro?
What's happening? Glad to be here.
Good to see you, Talib.
This is my first time on the show with Tonya B.
Yeah,
oh yeah,
so I'm
we
excited.
got the 3 P's here. We got 3 P's and 1 V.
It's a treat.
We'll be back.
It's a treat. So the gang's all here. Hey, y'all, I want to do this before we get rolling. Let's go ahead and do this. Here we go.
learned Monday afternoon that actor James Earl Jones, known for his unforgettable voice and larger-than-life presence, has died at the age of 93. It's his voice that we know as Darth Vader and Mufasa. Jones was a pioneering actor in theater, film, and television with a career that spanned over 60 years. His most recent performance was in 2021 in the movie Coming to America with Eddie Murphy.
I did not know, man. James Earl Jones did 71 movies.
Wow.
That's just, mind-blowing to me. And growing up, and I know it's hard to say, well, name your favorite James Earl Jones movie because he's done so many. But I will say, growing up, I think one of the first movies I saw was The Great White Hope, where he played Jack Jones, legendary boxer. And the other one was the one I saw at the Bankhead Drive-In, Bingo Long and the Traveling All-Stars with Billy D. Williams and Richard Pryor. So he will definitely be missed. The voice of many. I don't have to go into details. I know y'all have seen all the reports, but he will definitely be missed. Any thoughts, Tonya B?
One thing I noticed, he said before he passed away, he sold the rights to his voice to AI. So he will be the voice of Darth Vader until through infinity. And also I was trying to find one of my favorite movies by him is Claudine with Diane Carroll. And since he's passed away, every streaming service has taken it down, except you can find it on YouTube. I watched it yesterday. That movie is a classic. Between the movie itself and just in the music, the soundtrack. Ooh, do Jesus, hallelujah.
But I hate these streaming companies, man. They're so greedy. Whenever there's a death or a circumstance that puts somebody in the news, they always do this, man. You can see the movies and find them everywhere, and then all of a sudden, you got to pay.
Yeah, except for YouTube. So that's, yeah. And that is a bit greedy. And they just raise the prices again. We won't even get, that's a whole other show. But yes, I agree with you.
That's some scamming shit. That's just scamming. Hey. Talib, you had a thought?
No.
I saw you shake your head.
Well, I'm just saying
Okay.
the whole streaming thing, that's just a pain in the butt. Now I have to watch commercials even when I pay. You know what I mean? Which doesn't make any sense to me. But
you have to pay extra. You don't want to see commercials.
Yeah, but Claudine was definitely one of my favorites of all time. James Earl Jones, he killed that one. That's the garbage man.
And let me say, man, I'm glad you mentioned this because, and I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it because we got to go into, these news headlines. But Hulu, man, y'all got to get it together, bro. I tried whenever there's a big event. Okay, the big event this week, of course, was the debate. It is hard to stay on and get on Hulu, and I go back to even the Super Bowl with Usher at halftime. They got to do something about the infrastructure, man, on a lot of these streaming services because, and Vi, we were talking about you because you're DirecTV. And finally, they've come to an agreement where ESPN and Disney are back on DirecTV, but a lot of DirecTV people had to go over to Hulu in the interim. And I don't know if that caused what was going on, but streaming services, you got to do better, because the cost right now it's going back up to where we were when we were connected, when we were doing cable.
Yeah,
exactly.
It's going to happen. It's going to happen.
Well,
Yeah.
I think Hulu is losing subscribers because every week since my birthday, we miss you. Please come back. 30 days free. Then it's $7.99. I'm like, I'm good.
Oh, they get you. I mean, it's just like one service is about to go up, so they drop the price to like $2.99 for 2 months to get all these people in, and then as soon as they get in 2 months, they got to pay the higher price. So yeah, it's just it's getting worse than cable.
It's a scam.
It's a scam. It's a scam.
I'm at the grandfather clause, so they can't raise me.
Oh yeah, if you give grandfathered into a certain price, you're right to some extent.
Grandfather.
Yeah, you're just grandfather. You're not grandfather. You're just grandfather.
We going to Vi's house.
You're just great. All right, so man, hey, let's go ahead and get into this. Syracuse Mike, again, thank you so much for the headlines. Thank you so much for the clips. Let's go ahead and get into it. Here we go.
The topics included abortion, the economy, and January 6th. Plus, another one of the big issues during Tuesday night's debate between Vice President Harris and former President Trump was immigration.
We have millions of people pouring into our country from prisons and jails, from mental institutions.
There was also this.
In Springfield, they're eating the dogs, the people that came in. They're eating the cats.
And Harris responded,
You talk about extreme.
Despite unfounded reports, Springfield, Ohio officials say there is no evidence that Haitian immigrants are eating cats and dogs. So who won the debate? Fox News commentator Britt Hume said, look, make no mistake about it, Trump had a bad night. And by the way, at the end of the debate, the vice president got another huge endorsement from pop superstar Taylor Swift.
I'm gonna start with you, Tonya B. What say you on this on the debate? First of all, let me ask you, who do you think won the debate? Okay, any comments on it, and then the Taylor Swift.
Okay, hands down, bar none, as I say every week. She mopped the floor with him. It was just that simple. She knew how to bait him, and he fell for it, and that gave her the victory right there. And I love the fact that she went almost back to her Oakland roots, but she said this, and we know what she wanted to say, but she called him a former president. And I think it definitely made the MAGAs will deny it, but he was just, it wasn't a good night for him, like Britt Hume said. It made Kamala seem like the cooler head did prevail. I loved it when David Muir fact-checked him, especially about the dogs, and now yesterday he was talking about the geese. And Taylor Swift is so interesting. I think, her followers are just that dedicated. They will follow, people of her stature, just anybody in public life, whether it's Oprah or whomever. Those followers, those dedicated loyalists will follow. One lady I saw said, I bought my daughter tickets to a Taylor concert, but because she's supporting Kamala, honey, that's not a reason to get a refund. And the other thing is, since the whole Taylor thing came out, then I understand that Martha Stewart kind of gave a low brow, because a lot of people don't like to get into politics when they're, of a certain stature. And she kind of gave a low brow endorsement. And actually, so did Oprah. She's an independent, but,
Oprah, I mean, was straight up at the convention. So
yeah.
That's overwhelming. Yeah, but I did see the Martha Stewart.
Yeah, and don't forget about D.L. Hughley either.
Yeah,
I got to give him 5 on it. He went out there in front of all those people and said, Kamala, I said this, I was wrong, I apologize. And, I think for people of that stature I'll just call it with that ego, it took quite a bit to do that, but I applaud him for that. And I think his faction of followers and fans and listeners will also, they follow their lead.
Yeah, I got you. Vi, let's go to you, man. What are your thoughts, man? First of all, talk to me about the debate, and then get into the Taylor Swift endorsement.
Well, he definitely lost. It's like D.L. Hughley said, it's like she was getting ready to whoop him, and he knew he was going to whoop him. She said, how your mama say, when you do real bad, go get that switch. He would, cause I'm looking at it, and when she said that about the size of his crowd, I said, no, he didn't take that. He just took that bait. When he just went off, I said, oh, he just blew it. Because he was actually doing pretty good until she said that. When she said that, he just lost everything.
Yeah.
I said, dude, he just, and y'all, that, like they said, if that's all it takes to get up under his skin, you know he ain't no good. Cause his way of moderating or making a thing, his first thing he always say, I'm not going to pay you to do this. I'm going to take money from you. That's not negotiating. That's mob tactics. So all he do is mob tactics. He don't know how to negotiate. He just do mob tactics. And for Taylor Swift, that's big. He know it's big because if it wasn't big, he wouldn't have done a fake AI and said, I approve that.
Yeah.
So everybody
even he's out there doing the merch that kind of simulate
her. Except they got him in the middle. It's big. Everybody knows it's big. Even the white folks who love Taylor Swift, like one, forgot what her name, she almost lost her mind with Taylor Swift. Everybody know how big that is.
Yeah,
and you can't hurt her talking about sales. She's already rich.
Right.
I mean, come on. What can you do to hurt her money wise?
She's a no loss situation.
So she has nothing to lose. She's made her money already. So what? I mean, everything was a no-brainer. It was big that Taylor Swift did what she did, and that couldn't have went any better for her. And as far as the fact checking, they said he did what? He told like 33 untruths to Kamala one. Dude, that's why you got fact checked. That was nothing for them to fact check on Kamala.
Yeah, so true. True. I'm gonna go to you, Talib. I'll come back to you if you got another comment. Go ahead, Talib.
Well, I like the fact that Kamala Harris is obviously listening to the G podcast show, because the advice that I gave last week was to laugh whenever possible. You know what I mean? And she did heartedly. She gave a hearty laugh when he started talking about the dogs and the cats. And I gotta be honest.
I mean, but who couldn't laugh?
I mean, really, that's my point.
Even I said, seriously? That's
Go ahead.
Just for the record, is there a law in this country against eating cats and dogs?
Well,
I just want to know.
I think you can't eat pets. I don't think you can eat pets.
I mean, but again, so what? There are plenty of stray cats and dogs in my neighborhood. If you guys are really interested, you can have all of them. You know what I mean?
In some cultures, that's a delicacy, and in some cultures, that's regular.
It is in Korea, but like Korea said, they don't actually do pets though.
Right. And let me get on Vi's point. It's animal cruelty. If you subject your pet to that, it is animal cruelty.
Your pet, right? But if you're just have a chicken. I mean, right. Well, what about geese? I mean, you guys love hunters.
All right.
You love hunters. What is the problem with going and bringing home the geese?
We don't hunt
geese. You got it from the park?
Aren't you in East Point?
We don't hunt geese.
Hey, Talib, you in East Point, right? I rest my case. Keep going.
Yeah, they in my neighborhood too. They in my neighborhood. Geese or ducks. They in my neighborhood too.
Hey, listen,
I love East Point, by the way. I grew up there. So don't call me. Don't call me. But I will say, go ahead, Talib.
I just don't understand what the big deal is.
I have a story.
But
based on when I lived in East Point.
Okay. Well,
and let me tell you, and this is
let's hear it.
This is fact. Okay, I'm not making this up. It's not hearsay. I had a friend, as you know, and I'm not making racist comments. I'm just telling you like it is. There was some migrant workers, okay, who, as you know, East Point, there are a lot of, black and brown in East Point.
Yes.
They had just moved in, like I'm talking about into East Point from Mexico.
Okay.
He came in and he they were buddies because, they did work. He, like hang out, do home, work on construction sites, all this. And they came over, they were drinking beer. They came, went to the apartment, they were all, about 10 in the apartment hanging out. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And he said, "Hey man, what y'all cooking? This smells good." Guess what they were cooking?
Geese.
No, it was not geese.
No way.
Dogs?
It was a dog. And I'm not saying, but let me tell you, let me say this. That doesn't mean what this idiot said about Springfield. Was it Springfield?
Yeah, Springfield.
Okay, Springfield.
Yeah.
That idiot said about Springfield, you don't throw a net over a racial group. You don't do that.
Right.
Because now you've got what's going on, the violence against the Haitian population. You don't do that.
Yeah.
But
Especially,
people in desperate scenarios do desperate things. But I will say this, in Springfield, Ohio, and it's factual, they've done a good job in getting the people who need resources. It's not a desperate situation. Real quick, and then I'm gonna let Talib finish.
Okay, what I'm
real quick,
about the Springfield, Ohio, it was not Haitians that ate the animal. It was an African American woman, and she has mental problems.
Right,
and it didn't even happen in Springfield.
Yeah, correct. Okay, Talib, go ahead and finish up. Go, man.
Rod finished it for me.
Okay.
But again, man, it just shows how gullible we really are, or should I say, it really just shows how susceptible we are in these days and times to propaganda. Because this wasn't even Springfield, Ohio. And to be honest, the lady didn't even look like an African American. She looked like she was Caucasian. But but from the police video, it's blurred out. But again, we keep falling for the banana in the tailpipe.
Right.
I'm telling you.
I mean,
just the fact that
this.
we got to talk about this now, and it's a headline. It really comes down to the absurdity. I agree.
And he doubled down on it. On it like days later.
And for a president to say that, a former president to say that on national TV.
Global
TV.
That's why Kamala said, talk about extreme.
Right.
I hear you, girl. Hey, let me just make these points. I've said this before, man. It's just like the kid who doesn't prepare in class against the kid who prepared. The one who goes up and bullshits, so they didn't prepare. He was the kid that did nothing. No preparation, and Kamala was just incredibly prepared. Trump. Let me finish, and I'll come back to you. He believes that he can bullshit his way through anything.
Or bullying.
And that's the thing. He believes that his life has prepared him to bullshit anybody and to get over on anybody. And frankly, VP Harris tried his ass like the prosecutor she is. She went prosecutor on his ass. And that was as simple as that. That's what and Talib, you wanted to laugh. That's what I wanted. And she did it. I mean, quite frankly, I had some concerns, and this is going back to 2020, and I will tell you, my concerns, she's vindicated. Those concerns I had about her are gone, because she showed me that, she's not fucking around. I mean, she's serious. She ain't leaving this election, and she ain't letting it go. And one of the differences, because I've been doing this podcast since the Hillary and Trump, we covered that. Hillary was just, right around this time, going into November, Hillary, if you recall, man, Hillary was a very weak candidate. If you go back to 2016, and I say this because if you remember the time she fainted and she had pneumonia, I don't know what was happening with her, but she was ailing through most of the campaign up through October. So I think the strength of Kamala, he did not expect her to come out that strong, And you're right, y'all are right, man. She pushed the buttons. She went after his daddy. She pointed out the Central Park Five. She called him out on Charlottesville. She went after his bank account, his money.
What?
She talked about the sexual charges. She damn near, even though she didn't say it, called him a felon. I wish she would have said it. The other thing, it was so bad. I thought she was going to say it. And by the way, where's Melania? I wish she would have said it.
But you know what else he mentioned, Tommy B?
What's that?
Back to when his family would not rent to people of color in New York.
Absolutely.
And that wasn't so long ago.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying. She calling out his daddy, Fred Trump, who started that mess, who taught him that. And you know, the other thing that really kind of showed me she wasn't fucking around was, you know how she was using disgraced? How many times did she call him a disgraced? I'm like, damn. I mean, it was she punished him.
Yep. She said
she really punished him.
She said no one out in the world leader respects you.
Right.
It is true. And that's why he won't debate her again.
I can never really truly have any kind of sympathy or empathy for that dude. But I'm just sitting here I was just sitting there watching him get his ass kicked and lying and getting his ass kicked. A double dose.
Yeah.
So the last thing I really just wanted to say
to you, Talib.
Yeah. The last thing I really just wanted to say is that even though Kamala won the debate, Vice President Harris did not really answer questions either.
She didn't answer all. You're right.
But I will say this, Talib. I'm going to say this. I'm going to say
Hold on, Tommy.
Yeah. I'm not in defense, but go ahead.
Go ahead. Because the real of it is that we're almost back to politics as usual in this country. You know what I mean? We had the little, a little thing in there with Trump to throw things off, but we're almost back. Kamala Harris has been supported overwhelmingly by big business, and that to me is still concerning. The fact that she didn't specifically, although she was prepared and she had Trump's number, she still didn't specifically answer questions as they were asked to her, and that is my problem with politics as a whole. So yeah, she won the debate, and I give it to her. But but still in all, this is where we still are in this whole thing.
Well, to your point, Talib, I'm going to say this. I don't feel she should do a debate because debating Trump is a waste of time. Because debating Trump, you are cleaning up shit all debate, okay? Because of the lies. The thing that she should do, Talib, to your point, is a town hall. Okay, she should do a town hall with the people and people who have the similar opinion as yours. Do a town hall and answer the question. Mm-hmm. Now, I don't want to see any more debates. I want to see a town hall. Now, do a town hall, answer the questions, because a town hall will allow you to answer questions. Now, if you're not answering questions at a town hall, I think there's definitely a problem. And as far as money in politics, I don't think there's anybody, even crazy Jill. Well, let me take that word back. I take that back. Even eccentric Jill Stein, okay, who keeps running and not winning. I've said this. Jill Stein at least run for dog catcher, so you can say you've won something, and then run for president, okay? Because between Jill Stein and Ralph Nader, what is that? 0 for 50?
At least they just split. They dilute the vote.
So quit taking the campaign money and losing, okay? Then you can talk about what you will do. But I'm tired of people who get into these third parties who've never won an election. In my opinion, I'd love to see somebody who has won and shown, even if it's a mayor or a governor, who understands what's needed, then run in a third party. And then maybe you can get what you feel. I mean, no, I think it's for everybody to leave. I think we all want that.
Yes. But we should.
But we can't keep getting these third party candidates who are bullshit.
I totally agree.
Who you gonna get? Herschel Walker?
Had that already.
Let me go. Go ahead, Tonya. We're going to move on.
But now it's like there used to be, I guess, a barometer, if you will, where you had to have some type of experience to run for a political office. Even if you just ran for city council, you ran for, like you said, mayor, governor, do something. But now.
The Constitution says you can.
Right, but then. And
then age and of citizenship. And that's it.
Orange Julius, who had no political experience, he manipulated the lowest common denominator, and look what he did. So that take the Jill Steins and the Ralph Naders and the RFK Juniors and everybody else out there that thought, even those people who have not been in office, oh, well, he did it, so I can do it. Heck, we all can run for something.
But I mean, I do. I mean, I think. I mean, you do have to.
There should be just like any job you get, unless even if you're going to be a trash collector, you have to have some basic experience, even if you just went and got a high school diploma of something. And he's made it clear that you don't have to be experienced or intelligent.
All you got to do is show me you serve the people. I agree. I think we're in a sad state. Go ahead.
And have money behind you.
Yeah, one more time. I mean, because let me tell you, if you think Jill Stein is squeaky clean, I'll sell you. I got a couple of bridges I want to sell, because I hear people talking about, well, she can change the. No, that ain't the one. But I do agree with you, Talib. I'm glad you said it. But in the meantime, what I want out of this is to move on from MAGA. I'm tired of MAGA, because MAGA, in my opinion, is a disservice to us getting what the people really, really need. Okay, regardless of whether it's one particular party or not. If wherever you stand, Republican, Independent, Democrat, I think the cult, when we're talking about cats and dogs and ducks on the menu.
Geese.
Oh, I'm sorry, geese. My bad. Okay. All right, y'all. Hey, I hate to. Well, I don't really hate to do this, but here we go. The next thing, I kind of, because okay, I'm gonna go ahead and do it. Here we go. This is Tyreek. All right, we didn't show the video. He's on a motorcycle pulling up to the car right now. And this is from the body cam.
Your seatbelt on.
Don't knock on my window.
Why don't you have your seatbelt on?
Don't knock on my window like that, no.
Like what?
Don't knock on my window like that.
Why you have it up?
Don't knock on my window like that.
Why you have it up? I have to knock to let you know I'm here. That way you can lower it and talk to you.
Just get my ticket, bro, so I can go. I'm finna be late, gang. Do what you gotta do.
Keep it down. Hey! Keep your window down. Go out of the car. As a matter of fact, get out of the car.
Give me that.
Get out of the car.
Give me that. I'm gonna break that freaking window.
Get out of the car.
I'm finna get out.
Get out of the car right now. We're not playing this game. Get out.
Get out. Get out. Hey, Drew, I'm getting arrested, dude. I'm getting arrested.
All right. All right, so basically, and I just played the audio. I didn't show the video. You've seen the video multiple times. But I do want to say this. This thing, I think there's a technical term for this. The technical term is you fucked around and found out, pretty much, Tyreek. You fucked around and you found out. Now, let me say this. It does not let these officers off the hook. I'm with them. I think the guy who went overboard needs to go. He's going to lose he should lose his job. I don't know about y'all, but I've seen cops do worse in Georgia.
Oh, yeah.
I've seen a cop, if you say that kind of shit to a cop, I've seen a cop take the nightstick and bust the window on video. I've seen that. So, quite frankly, and even when it comes down to knocking, I'm not here to defend the cop because he took it too far. But I do have some questions about this, and maybe y'all can help me. Why did no one from the Miami team say their name, and I'm from the Miami Dolphins, and I'm running late? Because quite frankly, to me, you could have gotten a police escort, dog. I mean, even Calais Campbell walking over, why didn't he just say, look, my name's Calais Campbell. I'm a team member of Tyreek Hill. We are both of the Miami Dolphins. We're trying to get to the gate because they were right down the street from the stadium.
One block.
So that's one of the biggest questions I had from the first time I heard this. I said, why did anyone from the Dolphins team say their name and they play for the Dolphins? The other thing is, Miami Dolphins, do y'all not have any kind of ID that you wear to get you in the gates? Or go in and get your helmet. Get something. Pull out your jock strap. Something.
Jock strap.
Show something. I'm just saying, nobody in that whole incident No one. I'm going to go to you, Tonya B first. I'm going to go to you, Talib. I just want to know, really, truly. And I'm going to say one more thing, but I'm going to start with, go ahead to you, Tonya B.
I was going to say, to me, with his behavior, it indicates a level of immaturity. Perhaps somebody who's more seasoned might have done exactly what you said. And the Calais, I don't know. But, I think there are a few more layers.
Calais Campbell, who played for the Falcons.
Right.
And he went to Miami.
I think also with this whole thing, I wonder if there was some history. Who knows what? Because the cop that he's not going to be a cop. He can go be a full-time DJ now instead of being a part-time DJ.
Oh yeah, he was a DJ too. He was a part-time DJ.
I think there might have been some other. Who knows if they had not encountered or bumped heads before? Who knows if Calais Campbell was trying to not? Maybe he didn't step in thinking about, oh, I know what happened to me. I think but I think at the end of the day, I think there's a level of immaturity. Why are you tapping on my window? Really? How about I'm Tyreek Hill from the Miami Dolphins? I need to get to the stadium. I know I'm running late. Something like that. I think he went defensive a little. They both went defensive overboard to me. And I think
it does not excuse what the cops
No,
did.
I said he went overboard.
But and I want people who listen to the podcast and watch the podcast to understand that. But on the other hand, these are major questions I have, And Tonya B, good point. Vi, what you got?
On defense of the cops, they knew it. The one who done all the talking did not know it, because they got a second take where when the cops say, "Man, that's Tyreek Hill from the Miami Dolphins," the cops said, "Oh fuck." So they knew, and they went ahead and went through the whole process anyway.
You said what, Vi? The one who was in control.
He didn't. He probably didn't.
He didn't know it.
But he
probably didn't know.
But the cops that was standing beside him, you heard them. They got a second where they heard cops said, "That's Tyreek Hill of the Miami Dolphins." And one of the guys said, "Oh fuck," because they knew they messed up then.
Good point, Vi. Let me say this, and I'm gonna go to Talib. Inaction is complicity. Because if you're in a situation like that as a cop, and your buddy is nightsticking the fuck out of somebody, and you know something that can stop them, and you don't do it, then you going down too.
George Floyd.
And my other thing,
absolutely,
was,
George Floyd.
Like I said, I'm not defending the cops. They went way overboard. But come on, Tyreek, you're still a black man.
Yes,
you are still a black man. When a cop pull you over, your window should, like Shannon Sharp said, window should already been down. Hand on the. So why is your window not down? It should have already been down, and your hand should be on your steering. We should not have to do all that, but we know we do.
I'm gonna stop you there and go to Talib. Talib, what you got, man?
I have to kind of agree with everything that Tonya and Vi said. This was obviously somebody who was not being respectful in the scenario when he was obviously wrong. If you were getting stopped, and that well, listen, guys, hey, the first thing out of my mouth would have been who I was and where I was heading. Officer, I apologize. I know I was speeding, but I'm so-and-so. I play with the Dolphins. I'm running late for the game. That would have probably ended most of that right there. The fact that you're like, why are you knocking on my window?
Don't knock on my window.
What I mean? That whole like, come on. We know how police officers are. Police officers are, or can be, extremely entitled. They can be very egotistical. They can be, just downright mean. So knowing all of that, and knowing that you were trying to get somewhere, you not only should have had his window up, he should have had his right hand on the steering wheel, his left hand with the driver's license and insurance card in his hand, and like, sir, I don't mean to be, I know I was in the wrong, but I got to get somewhere. Here's my information. Can we, he could have said anything else at that point, and he didn't. And that's what he gets. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to say, again, I'm not trying to justify the police officer. These police officers have to stop with all of this stuff. You cannot be thin-skinned and be a police officer in 2024. There's no way around it, because people are already in the mindset of fuck the police. So why would you? You trying to come out there and let your balls hang and be Mr. Big? That doesn't work. It doesn't work anymore. And then all I could say was when I first heard this story, I thought about the quote from Porky's. If you can't be an athlete, be an athletic supporter. Because the way that Romaine was trying to be like, he was like, no, the player, I can't remember what his name is, and he was like, yo, I'm leaving. I'm leaving. It's just my team.
No.
And Porky's, yeah.
Oh, Porky's. But go ahead, Tonya.
And just one quick thing is like Tyreek Hill kind of has this cloud over him, like Pigpen and Charlie Brown was the house caught on fire mysteriously. Then they found somebody dead in the backyard in the lake. So it's like what?
Right.
What?
Right.
I'm like of all people.
I'm like this is like one time, two times, three times. I'm just saying.
Let me say this, y'all, and on a serious tip. What bothers me about this is, because I've been doing this podcast again for so long, I've seen, the heartbreaking stuff that happened with the cafeteria worker, Philando Castile, and on camera with him being murdered in the car with this 4-year-old girl in the car seat and his fiance next to him for doing nothing, or seeing Sandra Bland. Or hearing, the way they treated Sandra Bland at the car stop, and then they take her to jail, and she mysteriously hangs herself. Right. You know what I'm saying? So my point to Tyreek is learn something, dude. Understand who you are, and understand the environment we're in. Yeah. I mean, that's the thing, and I get it, because a lot of people will say, well, he's a big deal. And then I say, well, if you were such a big deal, why didn't you say who you were and what you were doing?
And take advantage.
Just like the cop, entitlement. And it's not about you. And he's in the South, too. I mean, not that makes it, you can be anywhere, but.
Yeah, I agree. The South is
you're in the South.
Lovecraft country.
And he in Miami. Well, there's a lot of rich black folks walking around in cars like that in Miami.
Yes.
So it's like you don't really stand out, for lack of it, you don't stand out as whoever. You got people that that stole PPP money riding around in cars like his. They just didn't go to jail yet, but and who are you? He could have been that PPP dude.
I gotta say though, and I'll go to you. I'll go to you one more time. But I think you had your hand up. When for me, as somebody who does a podcast, I start thinking again. I go to the Sandra Bland incident. Philando Castile, Tamir Rice, Tyree Nichols, George Floyd. All this shit has happened in his lifetime. All this has happened, and the fact that we don't have a George Floyd Policing Act right now. We don't have an act that really truly protects us, because quite frankly, these cops gonna get off with qualified immunity. Qualified immunity takes them out of harm's way when it comes down to going after them individually. They will say, this is what they're gonna say, and I guarantee you, the union's already planning it. The union's gonna say, he did not know who he was. 1. 2, when he let the window down and let it back up, the cop thought that something nefarious was happening. He could have been, when he kept asking him to open the window, when people don't do that, the cops make a quote-unquote assumption that you are preparing to come after them or go back at them.
Or you're hiding something.
Weapon.
Right.
You're hiding something.
Right.
So that's why the cop in Georgia broke the window with the guy sitting right there, because he wouldn't let the tinted window back up. But on the other hand, these cops guys have as much training as a McDonald's fast food worker.
As me. Or any of us. But don't tell me real quick. I would say.
I mean, they when it comes down to de-escalation.
Oh, no.
That's how much. They a lot of them don't have the training.
They don't.
They don't know how to de-escalate a situation, because his buddies could have de-escalated. There were enough people there to de-escalate that.
No training.
no training.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's going to get. I predict the single cop's going to get fired. The other cop's going to be disciplined. But I do think the police union is going after going to support Tyreek, saying that he had no idea why the window stayed up. He feared for his life that this guy was planning something nefarious. I guarantee you it's going to come out. But I'm going to go to you, Tonya B, and we'll wrap this.
When you look at, all the things you were saying is like maybe, I hate to say, maybe he can't read, he can play ball, but, he doesn't watch the news. But you look at that situation, the young man, Isaiah, I forgot his last name, in the Midwest, the one that had the condition and the cop said he looked suspicious and they gave him, that guy got probation. Yeah. So it means he can still go back to work anywhere, and he can still keep, if he had one, he still gets to keep his pension. So there are no consequences either. Like, we have to be accountable, but they don't have to be accountable. And that's the reality.
Absolutely.
That's the reality of the world that we live in right now.
But I'm here to tell you. And then, I had jumped to the conclusion before I saw the video. And I said, oh, shit, here we go again, these cops. And then I heard him like, what you fucking knocking on my window for? I mean, I said,
he didn't help. He didn't help the situation.
Dude, that ain't going to tell. Talib, last word.
No, I really don't have a last word on this one. I mean,
roll down the window. Roll down the window.
Okay. But the only thing I can say, I'm not going to defend Tyreek at all. I'm not going to defend the cops because they both kind of escalated. But the thing is, I can say, as for the cop snatching him out the car, I think where he really crossed the line when he had him face down and put his knee in his back. Okay.
Absolutely.
All that. Okay. I understand about the window being up. But once you snatched him out of the car, you saw no weapon, no gun, you handcuffed him, and you put your knee behind his back. Now you want to cry. So that means you went above been worried about. You wasn't worried about him saying that. He was never worried.
Yeah, and see, that's why I think he's going to get fired. Right. That's why I think he's going to get fired.
He was never worried. He really went too far when he put his knee in his back and had him handcuffed down. There was no weapon, no aggression whatsoever in Tyreek. But what Tyreek could do and say, instead of him fire the cop, he could say, like he's saying, I did not help the situation. I should have known better than to act the way I acted. But these cops need to pay a price for what they did. But I should have not acted the way I acted.
Well, let me say this, as of we tape on Saturday. Tyree has taken responsibility. Okay. He said that. The last press conference, he basically said the window incident was on him.
It's on him. Because I would never, even my window up and you tap down, I'm not raising it back up. And I'm definitely not going to ask you why you tapped on my window.
I'm putting down all the windows. Put down all the windows. Okay.
I'm popping the trunk.
If you pull me over, I already know maybe I've done something wrong. I'm not going to ask you what I done. I'm not going to ask you what I done wrong. I'm going to wait for you to tell me what I did wrong.
Don't you put down all the windows?
Let me say, can I say this? Because I've been pulled over. I mean, I guess I get pulled over.
Because we all have. We see all of them been pulled over.
What I'm saying, I get pulled over by the fucking comedians. The ones who come up to you and say, "Damn, you were doing 10. Why didn't you just go ahead and do 15 over?"
Oh, really?
The ones who just fuck with you. They don't come at you hard. And then you like, and you gotta oh shit. It is kind of humiliating. But outside of that, dog, it was like. Like I started the conversation, y'all. He was kind of asking for an ass whipping at that point. It was an invitation for an ass whipping.
Yeah, like he was saying, I'm Tyreek Hill. Who you think you ought to pull me over, dude? Really?
Yeah.
I would not have known that, and I'm not a cop. I know before the literate, but I know all these.
A lot of people don't know. Because all they see is a helmet. If they watch, if they're not into the personalities, if they're not on social media, a lot of people only know them with a jersey and a helmet.
Then you can't see the face with the helmet. Wait, I could see the helmet.
If you're not a serious football fan, you're not gonna know who he is.
Yeah. Right. What'd you say, Tonya B?
I'm saying, I can't see anyone's face with a football helmet on. I didn't know that boy. They said they just got hit in the head. the Tala somebody.
Tua.
Yeah,
on
him.
Miami.
Yeah. I didn't recognize that guy's face until they showed him. Now I know it, but when he had the helmet on, I didn't know him from. That could have been you, or Talib on the field. I didn't know him.
Yeah, Tyreek better be looking to try to recruit Tom Brady. That's what he better be doing.
They're called Tony Montana.
because Tua is. Because it's Tua. That's what he should have been doing. Hey, y'all, let's do this. Real quick, though, I got to say, and we're short on time, just your quick thoughts. Frankie Beverly, we lost him, age 77. And I will say, and I'll just kind of give a quick story, man. One of the biggest things I think that kind of showed the strength of the band and also the challenges they had was the issues they had at radio. And I was just starting out as a music director, and I was a fan of the group just from the Live in New Orleans album. So I went to my boss at the time. I said, hey, you know, I think it was Back in Stride and Can't Get Over You were the big songs. We're not playing these. Well, people don't really care about them except for concerts, blah, blah, blah. And that's the kind of shit they were up against. But you see how big, truly, no lie to Lee, there were some cities who, am I wrong, Tonya B? There were cities
I was in Boston. It was a revival. Yeah. You would have thought Reverend Ike was there. Yes.
Yeah.
Wow. D.C., every major city I've lived in on the East Coast.
A lot of people denied him airplay, but they say, oh, he is big in concert, but the song. But then again, it's like now it's a different story. The songs are massive. When you look at what Beyonce did with Before I Let Go, Joy and Pain, you hear them all over. But the early days, it wasn't like that for them. And they made it. And they pulled through. And they, so, and definitely, I call them the Black Grateful Dead. The way they move people at concerts, to me, and I'm not, I know nothing about the Grateful Dead, but I do know they sold out concerts
with no airplay.
With no airplay. Right. So I'm gonna go. Let's start with you, Talib, Tonya B, and then Vi. Go, Talib.
Yeah, just rest in peace to Frankie. I mean, I as a DJ, that was the one song that Before I Let Go was that one song that will always get somebody up. But to see how, over the years the music has been sampled and, the guy pretty much lived his life on stage. You got to give it up for somebody like that. These guys will be on the road for 200 dates a year sometimes. You know what I mean? And he's well into his 60s at that point. So, phenomenal singer, phenomenal band, and, you will be missed.
Yeah. Go to you, Tonya B.
I just say every market I've worked in, it's been it's been like Frankie Town, so to speak. And like I said, and it just shows you the testament to the kind of group, Frankie, Beverly, and Mays, however you want to say they were, because they were one of the few groups that could always sell tickets and sell out concerts without a new record out and without any airplay. That's a testament, and that's longevity. Secondly, Frankie had been sick for quite some time. I really thought it was kind of greasy of the people that had him, that trotting him out there these last couple of years doing all this when they know he wasn't well. And the more they trotted him out there, the more sick he became, for lack of a better term. But I just want to remind everybody, next Friday, the 20th of July, is Frankie Whiteout Day. Just please wear your white wherever you are. They're going to wear white all day and play Frankie, Beverly, and Mays all. The legacy that he's left there. And, I lived in Philly for many years, and I had a few encounters with him, and they were all pleasant. Some of the people around him were not, but he was not as cantankerous as people thought he was. If anything, he probably was tired and didn't feel good and didn't have his scotch. But just in talking to my Philly people, it was like a blanket of grief is just covered, Metro Philadelphia. And I think if there's any place that will do a proper tribute to Frankie, it would be his hometown.
Yeah, so true. Wrap it up with you on Frankie, country commentator.
Yeah, just rest in peace on Frankie. When he died, I'm going, dang, how many, do we have any more legends left? We don't lost Luther, we don't lost Mike, we don't lost Prince, we don't lost Whistler, we don't lost Teddy, we don't lost Frankie. I mean, we have really lost the legends of R&B. I'm going, maybe I'm just old school. I'm going, who is out there now? Because I haven't seen any of the young folks to inspire me to say, okay, that boy bad.
Maybe Usher.
Yeah.
Usher's out there. And what's the other guy from
Ursher. I'm sorry, Vi.
The guy from Europe who sound like Marvin Gaye. He's pretty good. I like.
Oh, the new guy. Is that the
October London?
Tanya B. No, well, are you talking about London? London something?
London.
October London.
Oh, he's from Indiana.
Yeah, but his name.
He's Indiana.
He's got a European name.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
And, you know, and all we kind of have left, if you look at it, we just have, you know, of that ilk of, you know, after the Luthers and the Frankies and people like that, all we really got right now is Maxwell.
You know, and like he said, Ursher's still out there. Ursher's still pretty. And Chris Singer's a great singer too, but he just
Chris Brown is crazy all out there. But see, Usher.
Don't come after me, Chris Brown. Brownies.
That wasn't me. Usher was a student. That makes a difference. Usher was a student. Chris Brown didn't come up, you know, take off the puffy stuff. But, you know, with the L.A. Reid and the baby faces and, you know, those type of people that really took Usher under their wing. Yeah. And Usher is a student. And I think that is a testament to his longevity and why he's doing so well, not just on the tour, but in Vegas as well. You look at all the people in Vegas and look how many people that look like us that actually have not this 1 weekend, 2 weekends a month or, you know, 3 weeks and that's it. A residency, I mean, like a Janet, like a you know, those type, like the Usher. I mean, what act before Usher has had a residency that was that successful and that long? No,
all I'm saying
not
is
even Mariah Carey.
I got you. Hang on one second. Okay. No, but you wrap it up, Tanya B.
No, I'm done. I'm done. Go on.
Okay, go ahead, Vi.
I'm just saying, if there's any young R&B artists out there that's in that genre, that's at their level, please let me know, because I would love to listen to them instead of every time I get on my Spotify, I'm looking for Frankie, Luther.
Yeah,
I'm looking for them people because I don't. Yeah. Like, I haven't heard it. Maybe I'm just don't listen to the new music anyway. But if they're out there, let me know because I would love to listen.
Yeah, I'm gonna send you the indie list, Vi.
Okay,
I'll send it to you.
Listen to the bird wine.
We got 1 minute, just something each. Your big takeaway for the week. I'll start it off. Mine is real short. I got to say kudos to Matthew McConaughey and his wife. He's got a new initiative called the Greenlights Grant Initiative, and it's intended to make schools safer. He's been going around on a lot of the talk shows. He started it about a year ago, actually, and it came about because of Uvalde, because he grew up in that area. But the service provides free grant writing services because there's a lot of grant money to help these schools who don't have the safety or mental health resources to get them. And I'll put the website on my notes. If you're a teacher or if you're a parent, greenlightsgrant.org, and it'll be on the podcast notes. But I got to say, big ups to Matthew McConaughey. Let's go to you. What you got, Tanya B?
Just real quick, I just want to say a couple of things. I wanted to say prayers up to singer Shanice. She just underwent a double mastectomy. Shanice is not, she's not old. So, just the fact that she was transparent and she had been going through, which she worked up until about maybe 2 weeks before she had the surgery. So I just want to send prayers out to Shanice and, hopefully she'll have a full recovery and be back and giving us that beautiful smile that she has. Also want to talk about mental health. Tyrese, please stay off social media. He's been out there crying. He got arrested. He was in jail. He got out of jail. And if anybody got $500,000, you can go down to the Fulton County tax sale. The house is on Tuxedo Way. It may be going up for auction again. And lastly, Cardi B, we knew something was going on when she didn't show up to the Patty party. She dropped another baby. She had another baby last week. And Megan
cheaper
Good,
to keep her.
That's what Johnny Taylor. And the other thing with Jonathan Majors, I think he's alienated his fan base. If he goes back to a Caucasian woman, then we're really going to have to just stomp on him. Megan Good is paying all his bills up to and including his rent and his child support because he broke.
Yeah. Go to you, Talib.
If he leaves her, honey, it's going to be like if Travis Kelce tried to leave Taylor Swift. He's going to get he'll get a ghetto beat down, and that's all I got to say.
All right, good stuff. Go ahead, Talib.
I just want to say the Lil Wayne controversy that's happening now with him not performing or not getting picked for the Super Bowl thing. I mean, was he even in the running? Kendrick Lamar is the number one topic right now. You know what I mean? So of course, if you're gonna tap a rapper, for a performance, a Super Bowl performance, yeah, You want Kendrick because he's the number one right now. I think that once again we're seeing, these super fans, starting stuff when it's not even, okay, if it wasn't for the fact that it was in New Orleans, would people have even said anything about Lil Wayne? No. You know what I mean? And, right, any of those artists. So, listen, guys, I know that, social media brings fans closer to the artist, and everybody has an opinion. But this is something that Lil Wayne, he may have been thinking about it in his head, but this wouldn't have gotten to the point that it did if people hadn't been pumping this up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Look, sometimes your opinion is welcome and sometimes it's not. And in this case, now you've created a situation where Wayne has to even speak on it. But in what I do want to say is that Lil Wayne's quote from his little 2-minute blurb about, not being able to, not being picked to perform is, he said, "I'm working on myself and I'm working." And to me, that shows the growth of an artist, because Lil Wayne, has not been the most, on top of things. He's, his reputation for showing up and showing out isn't really that great. There are times
we're right up against it, Talib. I'm gonna go to Vi. What you got, real quick? 1 minute.
Not a thing real big. I'm just saying. I'm gonna go back with my Kamala Harris and Donald Trump. People, if you really, after that debate, have any doubt who should be our president, just do your research. Don't even go by the debate. Do your research on her, and you do research on him. And if you do the research and you still feel that way, then so be it. But this man has not shown us anything that make him worthy for a second chance. So just do your research. That's all I gotta say. Do your research.
I got you. Appreciate it. Again, thank you again, Tonya B. Thanks. Appreciate you jumping on. Yes. Got to come back, Tonya B, when you're not traveling. Jump back on with us, okay? Talib Shabazz in the building. Yes. Vi, the country commentator, supporting them Greyhounds, doing 106 up in Athens. Yes.
It's just a moving violation. It's only a moving violation.
At 106, yep. Thanks to all y'all, man. You can watch us. You can listen. Go to Castropolis.net. Again, please call your congressional representatives. Please do that. Demand that they take action on these school shootings, y'all. Please. And with that, y'all, episode 237 is in the can. Have a great week. As always, say peace and power to the people. Have a great week.
Peace.
Bye, y'all. Fight the power. Fight the power.
You've been listening to This is the G Podcast. And This is the G Podcast is a production of the Castropolis Podcast Network. Thanks for listening.